Hey guys, it's Zupa here. So today let's cover boss Sopdet in Solitary City, and this is the third boss, and you can see the damage requirement is 600 million damage, which is pretty high. So I would say the third boss onwards is where the bosses can be somewhat challenging. So as always, let's start with the boss guide and see what it does. So the first two is pretty straightforward. The only thing worth noting is that she does steal a random buff with the basic attack and all the buffs on the special tool. So this is the main part. And this is the passive, so she starts with two servants and one has this dawn tag and the other has a dust tag. And just to save you guys from reading all this text, it's very straightforward, but basically your heroes will have either similarly the dawn tag or dust tag, and as you take your turns and when the enemy takes theirs, more of your heroes will get these tags as well. So what you need to do is your hero with the dawn tag must hit the enemy servant with the same tag, which will be the dawn tag, and then your ally heroes with the dust tag must hit the same enemy hero with the dust tag. So once you kill both minions, then you will be able to deal damage to the boss. So if this is a bit confusing, let's just go straight into the test and show you guys, and it will make a lot more sense. So you can see one has the dawn tag over here, which is this icon, and one has the dust tag over here, which is this icon. And in fact, I don't even know which one's actually considered dawn or dust, but it doesn't matter. You just need to look at the icon itself, right? This thing above their heads. And so you must look at your heroes and find your hero which has the same corresponding tag. In this case, it's my Kalana. So since these two have the same tags, all I need to do is simply attack that minion and the minion will die instantly. So next, you can see that my Ans actually has the second tag over here matching him, and my Indra does too as well. So once again, very straightforward. If I attack with the minion with a hero which does not have the same tag, then you can see nothing happens. But with this Ans, for example, they both have the same tag. I can deal damage and it instantly dies. So once it instantly dies, we can immediately start to hit the boss, and that's what we'll do here. And the boss will resummon these minions, I believe, every time she uses her special 4 maybe. If you can take a look, it's probably somewhere, one of these skills, probably in the passive, but once again, don't really want to bore you guys reading all of this information, but it's probably, at the start of the enemy turn or something. We'll see very soon, right? So yeah, at the start of each of her turn, it seems, and that shouldn't be an issue. So once again, let's make sure we attack the right one. So my Lance has this tag, let's attack this one. And then my Dianmu has this tag, so let's attack that one. So let's hit this. And then now we can feel free to deal damage to the boss itself. So we're dealing some decent damage, and I believe the damage requirement was 600 million, which is quite high. So for newer players, this may be a little bit tricky for you guys. And if you get stuck in stages like this, don't fret about it, because Demon Prison is really endgame content. So now we have our Dianmu's turn, but she doesn't have the tag. Our Indra does have the tag, so he can attack this guy over here. And then Kalana doesn't have the correct tag to kill this one, but our Ans does, so like so. And now once again, we are free to attack the boss. Now we have all 12 lightning stacks, or rather, we got 11. This means our Dianmu's effect hit is actually kind of low then. Yeah, it's really low. I guess she's not geared properly, but it's fine. And then now we can attack with our Indra, and this will deal some good damage. Of course, once again, this isn't the team that you have to use. This is in fact just a very the same team I used for the previous boss, so I actually am, kind of recording them at the same time, but I didn't bother changing the team. But this goes to show, you don't really need a dedicated team to beat the bosses, for this boss at least, and rather you just need to know how the mechanics work, and from there just use the best team that you can. So the boss is about to take another turn, so it was kind of bad, I guess, the way we played it, or rather, it's just the speed didn't match up. So by the time we killed the minions, she was ready to take another turn. A little unfortunate, but not too big a deal, I would say. So now we just very simply have to kill this minion, and now we get another chance to hit the boss. And anyway, we're nearing the 600 million damage mark, which is exactly what we wanted, right? So with this, 712 million, and yeah, only 4 turns. Obviously, if you have lower stats, this may take longer, and well, that's compensated by the fact that, I didn't gear my characters properly. You guys can probably gear your characters and help compensate for perhaps some higher stats that I have. And otherwise, you guys can put together a better team than this as well, especially if you have limited time heroes. But over 600 million damage and less than halfway into the fight, I would say is a success. So for this, you can see most of the damage is from my Indra over here, which is why Dianmu Indra is a really strong combination for Demon Conquest bosses. And I would say in some sense it's kind of necessary, especially for some bosses, but not really this one. Ans was useful as well for damage record, and Lance, did a little bit as well. So that's all we have for boss Sopdet over here, and thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time.